Are you
every
saying that
is
are you saying that having more opinionated white guys on the internet is doing better for humanity?
it's
That
doing
what?
objectively worse. I don't. Are we harming the world by being? I don't know.
I
I
don't
think
think we're
I,
do no
I think
harm
what
is the universal adage, right?
right. I like to think of it that we're like maybe canceling out on Ben Shapiro or something. Of course, the guy has the huge reach, but like those people have these tremendous followings and are complete sociopaths. So
Yes. It's actually
I think we can
mind-boggling to
give
me.
some
Well,
honest advice.
it's confirmation bias therapy, right? It's basically like, oh,
Right,
here's a dude that's well-spoken that's confirming everything that I suspect about reality, so therefore follow,
right,
right? And
right. Yes, women should definitely be in the kitchen. You're
right,
right. Yep, she should
right,
respect. You're the head of that household. It's like,
right.
look, this guy's yeah, but he's a fucking white supremacist.
Exactly. It's like, what are we missing here? Right.
David
I even
Duke always said. It's like,
people
oh,
don't even know
really?
who David Duke is anymore. The
Please go on.
what was the one? It was my son's friends, Andrew Tate. They were
Oh my
like,
God, yeah.
he's making a lot of sense, man. And
No,
I'm like,
he's in
I'm
Romania,
like,
like
this was like
fighting
this
extradition.
was like 2 years ago, so it's been
Oh, okay.
before he did all that shit. But I'm like, sit down, young ones, I will explain to you.
Yeah. My kids knew who Andrew Tate was because they put him in Roblox games and
Oh
stuff
my
where there'll be like a
god,
bad guy and it's like Andrew Tate and they're like, who's Andrew Tate? I'm like,
he's a horrible
why
human
do you
being.
know that? And it's like it's on the freaking Roblox screen. Like, wow.
Jesus.
Like it's such a me. So my kids have heard his name many times.
Yeah,
Do not understand why, just that he's bad.
yeah, yeah.
So it's
Well,
like,
at least they know that.
know,
That's all they need to know,
it,
actually. And then they're good
well,
to
that's only because they luckily asked me, and I was able to inform them that he is indeed bad.
bad. Right.
And so
Yes.
they're like, "Oh, okay, that's But uh, like otherwise Nate would be like, you know what? He makes a lot of good points.
Makes like a
You
plan.
know?
Yeah. Women are getting all up in our business and shouldn't be
Uh,
considered equal to us because
yeah,
of the physically inferior sex. Yeah, absolutely.
yeah, because I'm stronger, and that's how everything works. And
Right.
whoever is stronger automatically wins.
Right. Because
Oh, you have a
clearly,
gun. Crap.
right. Because clearly, you punch out someone when they're giving you grief, and then you win. Right.
That is why we live in a society, and that is how it works.
Correct. And that's why we pay taxes so we can fund the police to protect us from such things.
Right, so we can get our universal health care to have our jaws repaired when we are punched out.
We are punched.
Oh wait, no.
We're we're live, by the way. By the way.
Are we?
Yeah.
Hey.
I think we might have
Um,
recorded everything after you told me your social security number, so you may want to get a credit lock.
257. Oh,
But
oh, the whole. Okay. Oh, was it just the back half or the front?
Nah,
Okay.
you tell me the whole thing. I think it's all right.
Okay.
Yeah,
Well, in some ways you can tell because the first three digits have to do with where, and then.
I
So
actually
there's,
didn't know that.
about when.
I didn't
Yeah.
know that actually. I knew when, but they cycle them when people die. I thought so. That doesn't hold, does it? Over time.
Uh, it takes a while for them to recycle because of they at least as far as I'm aware because it's a really big fraud thing to have because social security number is tied to so many things that
Yes.
like they want a social security number to be not have been used for like 100
100 years. Yeah, yeah. Okay.
or
Got it.
whatever.
Got
You know
it,
what I
got it,
mean?
got it.
Just because it's already a big enough problem with um the internet
Got
and
it.
the dark web.
And calling it social security.
Right.
That's socialism coming at you. But of course,
It
most
is.
people who vote against socialism are all about social security and think it's awesome.
That
Go
is true.
figure. Welcome to the new fucking deal and how it helps your life be better. And how you're not old and destitute.
I am glad that we have the 40-hour work week.
Yes. Labor Day,
but,
by the way, just happened. So let's
yep.
mention that. Yeah.
Although, yeah, I think we could do with some more strikes. Actually, I don't know.
Yeah.
Although, yeah, when that's I think the Screen Actors Guild and the Writers Guild, they held out and they actually got a pretty good deal. I think,
Yes.
or at least from what I've been told from people I know
Yes.
who are in there, they're like, actually, it's pretty good compared to what we had. Like, all right.
What are your feelings on unionization of, I don't know what you call it, either white collar or high skill labor, right? Meaning like labor that has negotiation power solely from the value add they bring as an individual worker. You know what I mean?
I love it.
Yeah. Oh, you think they
love it.
should
I wish-
also be unionized? Do you think like
Not
high
should-
tech workers should be unionized? Like lawyers should be unionized?
I am not against the idea of like lawyers and doctors and stuff, to me it doesn't make as much sense, but like for tech workers,
Oh,
because we can be offshored so easily now,
I guess
and
that's
that
true.
like at my company, like there's a lot of um like people who are jumping specifically because they know they're going to get so if they had
Mhm.
some sort of guarantee that like they weren't just going to lose their job at any day, if
Yes.
because it's the at will thing,
Yes.
which is what
Employment at
kind of
will.
creates problems, that like as
Only in
and
America.
as and I say that mainly because our society is such that if you are not a senior citizen or not 65, you have to have a job to have healthcare.
Yes.
So if they
Which
fire
is
you,
a foreign
you lose
concept
your
to so many
healthcare.
people. Exactly.
Right, which
The
is
rest of
it's
the
a
world.
foreign concept to
Yeah.
literally everyone except the U.S.
Except the U.S.
And so yeah, that's why it's like.
But
so
we had to
it's
socialize medicine somehow.
right, but we do, and so it's like so when someone who's 60 loses a job that they've
Mhm.
had for like 30 years,
Right.
it can literally go bankrupt because their husband was in the hospital or whatever, and it's like, well, he's still in the hospital, but now you lost your health insurance, so now
Right.
what? Like that's insane. That happens.
Yes.
I don't know. Is that a hot take? I don't know.
Freedom America. There you go.
No, we're ridiculous.
We are
Yeah,
ridiculous. We
Yeah,
make no
we are.
pretense about that. So anyone watching from overseas, we are ridiculous, and we know this.
We are absolutely ridiculous.
But no, it's not all of us. Actually, it's a minority of us, but somehow that minority has weaseled its way into places of decision and power, which is the truly broken thing about our system. It's one of its strengths, but it's one of its weaknesses of a republic.
One good thing I saw about I can say about our future was my own little green pants, who is 10,
Wonderful.
had asked me, is the United States the most free country in the world?
It's
That's
not.
what I keep hearing. And I was like, no. And he's like, and so I gave him an example, and this was his answer. I said, in the United States, we are free to own guns. You can own lots and lots of guns,
Excellent
and that's
example
your
you're
right to
bringing.
do that.
Yes.
And he goes, what about my right to not have people with guns everywhere?
Bam.
I was like, bam, the 10-year-old.
Brilliant.
The first thing that comes out of his mouth is like,
Love him.
what about my right to safety?
Yes. Yes.
Yes, buddy.
Yes. For
Wow.
those watching
Did
who
not
might
have
not
to even lead
right.
you.
For those watching who might not understand this concept that 10-year-old understands, freedom includes two aspects. It includes the freedom to do things, and it includes the freedom from things, such as the
Right.
freedom from getting killed by a gun. Right.
Or just anywhere you go, people are massively armed. That's crazy.
Yes.
Like it just, and I guess to
Wow,
some
West.
it's not,
Yeehaw! Pew
Right.
pew 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 pew.
because that's exactly how it works.
Right.
In
And
all,
so our
in all those
disputes.
situations, if only there had been more guns.
Exactly.
All of these situations
Said no
would
one
have been so
ever.
much better. But what we do say every time is, how could this happen in the only country in the world where this happens?
Where this
like every
happens,
3 months.
right? Where it literally happens because we don't do anything about it. Yeah, we've gone on a tangent. We got to get to the questions.
We have.
So
We're
we
here
have.
to help people.
We are.
Let's do that.
We are. So we have our 5 questions today,
Excellent.
and we're going to go over them. And I just got them input into the system. So let's dive in and see what we can do here. So
All right.
let's see. First one
We
is
have
from Francine. Francine is from Macon, Georgia, and Francine asks.
Oh,
Francine is
sorry.
a 20-year-old female. She wants to have sex with her ex-coworker, who is a 38-year-old male. I've had feelings for half a year now, and I don't know what to do with them. I thought the urge was going to go away, but I just got stronger over the months. I do not want a relationship. I want something casual, which is very weird for me. And I want it a secret. I think he would want to keep it to ourselves, too. How do people initiate casual sex? Asked Francine. This sounds very similar to a previous question we received last
Right.
week.
Yeah. Say, hey, Francine. Before last week, my obvious answer is just put your hand on his dick, but that's crazy talk. So I will let Vanguard answer this one, as he is better at the more indirect ways.
I won't dispute that method can be effective. However,
Thank you.
in the
Saying it's a method. It's an option.
in the quest for gender equality, we do not condone the grabbing of someone's genitals without their permission, regardless of sex.
Again, it's look.
I understand.
Just saying, given the context, it could be the right move.
Right. I mean, hey, I fully admitted, like last week when a similar question came up, it's like if there were situations in my past where a woman was using the subtle method that I totally missed, and if she just would have grabbed my penis, I would have been much happier, and it would have worked out much better. So I kind of hope for that, but
I
that's
was
me.
a 30-year-old man and a
Yes.
20-year-old woman, but yeah, I can definitely see that perhaps he's married or not or whatever. Actually, she says he's her. Oh no, she didn't. She say it's
Ex-coworker.
over.
Ex-coworker. Yeah.
Oh,
So
so I guess
so
there isn't the awkwardness of them being coworkers. So
right,
they're
right,
just two
right,
people
right.
that know each other.
Exactly. So
Okay.
so Francine, I think the thing is like if you're in communication with him, text or something like, shoot him a text, say, hey, want to hang out? Miss our chats, right? Get together.
Yeah.
Do the innocent flirtations. Make your intentions kind of clear, right? And in
Every
theory,
time I've looked at you, I've just been wondering what's behind that zipper, and I gotta see it.
Not lead
And I
with
was
that.
gonna put my hand on it, but
But these two
some
white guys on the
internet
internet
told me not to put. Said
White
weirdly,
guys on the
they
internet
told me
said
not to put my hand on your dick, which was weird. But one
Right.
of them was kind of into it, and the other one was like, no, it's
Oh,
like,
you shouldn't do
like
that.
violating something.
Violating
Boundaries,
something.
consent. Blah, 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 blah. I don't know.
Oh my god. Yes. So and make your intentions clear, right? Just kind of say, hey, really would you like to hang out? The biggest clue, like, isn't it's I think this is still true. This is like an eternal thing, right? If you're going out with someone, and then it's like, all right, well, I guess I'll go home now. And normally it's an invitation, oh, I'll walk with you or share the ride with you or whatever, right? I'll drop you off,
Right.
something like that, right? The invitation to go upstairs, right? Hey, want to come up? That's, in my opinion, the culturally universal language of I am interested in intimate relations with you. And if that happens after this
Right.
invitation, I am all for it. You know what I mean? So that's the
I
go-to.
think part of the, I think part of like Francine wants something casual. So right now, like, because she doesn't really want a date.
Right.
She wants to have sex. So it's like, so
you got to
it's-
go out at least once.
I guess the first thing you have to do is like
just,
you have to ask him out, or you get together
Right.
where you are able to be in a situation where you're able to put your hand on his dick,
that
and then everything will be revealed.
all falls into place after.
Everything falls into place. Boom, man. I love being able
Goodness.
to.
Oh my
super
goodness.
easy.
Oh my goodness. Yeah, Francine. So I know you don't want a date, but go out on one date because you need to initiate the conversation
Yeah.
and suggestion. And again, the
Yeah.
invitation back to your place is usually a very strong indicator of what you wish to happen.
Right. And then if something does happen, then you can have that conversation and then work in those extra details about. I'm not sure why it has to be kept a secret, especially if you're not if you're not
He's
working with them anymore. Who cares?
He's
But
almost twice our age, I think.
I guess that's why it would be a secret. I mean, my mom's a whore, so I can't say anything with that. But yeah, 38 and 20. That's, I mean, go for it.
Yeah.
Francine, I
And don't be
wish
afraid.
you all the luck.
Yes, and don't be afraid about making the move. Like when you're alone and having a nice, nice time with him, make the move. Like go in for the kiss, touch his chest, anything, any physical contact,
Yeah.
that kind of thing. Perhaps.
Okay.
Yes.
Just saying.
I'm fast.
Just one of the
Hesitant.
erogenous zones. And I will tell you, men have one erogenous zone. It is their penis.
Super J, hello. Super J's here, dude. Yeah, Super J. We're
Hey,
really
Super
by
J,
the way,
how are
Super
you?
J just came by. So guys, we're really sorry for being late tonight. We had something come up. It's mostly my fault actually. So Green Pants once again.
It is
Thank you
almost
for
entirely my fault, I would say. But I will.
Really?
I
think
you want
it's
to take the bullet for
mostly
me?
my
That's fine.
fault.
I
I
know,
mean-
it's all good.
Most tardiness is my fault, so I'm gonna go with it.
We are
me.
we are here for you now, though. And
Yes.
apologize for our lateness. But
Profusely.
now that we are here to help.
We are here to help. So Francine, yeah, invite him out. Do the suggestions.
dick.
Invite him up
Boom.
to your place. Make the move. Let it happen.
Touch his dick.
And he says,
Hmm?
and if he says, hey, I want kind of something serious, like, oh no, I mean something casual. 85% of the time, he's gonna be completely cool with that. So, yeah, the conversation.
Yeah, I mean,
Maybe generalizing and
not knowing this
stereotyping,
guy,
but there goes.
well, we have to generalize and stereotype and all.
That's
of
all we
these
have.
things,
That's
you know.
true. So statistics says 85% of people will be okay with the situation.
But it is a fact that my mom is a whore. That's a thing. That's
You're
a
saying
thing.
that's 100% objective?
Yes, yes, she has a gigolo, so that's fun.
Wow.
It's fun for all of us in the family.
What's that song about?
think
Remember, was that song Buffalo Stance? Remember that? The Gigolo Man, good today.
Yes, but I don't feel
Good in
comfortable enough
every
dancing
way.
to it or trying to remember the words
Ba-bam,
because I'm
ba-bam,
looking at
ba-bam,
you
ba-bam,
and you
bam,
look ridiculous.
ba-bam, 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 ba-bam.
Please stop. Can we stop now?
Who's
Okay.
that gigolo on the street with his hands in his pocket and his crocodile feet? I remember that song.
Flash. Oh, no, is it Oh, because I would think is that Shaft?
I know.
Shaft.
I'm just thinking about Shaft. I'm just talking about Shaft.
Shaft.
Yeah. Anyway, Francine, good luck.
All right. Well, Francine,
Good luck.
Good luck.
Yes, we wish you luck. And let's know how it goes. If you get your casual situation with this 38-year-old man, otherwise known as one of the luckiest men alive, then power to him.
Absolutely.
And you.
Yep.
That's awesome.
Yeah. And write us back and let us know how it was.
All right.
And let me know if you touch his penis. Just
what's your
DM me.
approach to it?
I just want to know. It doesn't matter. I want to know. Thanks.
All right, next one comes from Ava from Rocky Mount, North Carolina. Ava asks, I was run over by a car today while I was in the crosswalk. Yeah. It was a middle-aged woman who hit me, but after she took care of me, making sure I was okay, getting me water, stay with me in the hospital, we had a nice bonding moment, and deep down it meant a lot to me. Legally, she was in the wrong, and the accident sprained my hand pretty badly. I don't have the heart to sue her. I actually want to call her to thank her for the support. I'm naturally an overly compassionate person, so maybe I'm being too nice here. What do you think? Asks Ava, who was hit by a car in a crosswalk.
Okay, yeah. So let me get this straight. A woman accidentally hit you while you were in the crosswalk. The woman stopped, understood that she was in the wrong,
right,
waited, helped you,
yes,
made a concerted effort to do everything that she possibly could.
Mm-hmm.
You admit that there was no maliciousness or wrongdoing, yet the question is, do I sue her? This is a question that would only happen in the United States. Because sue her for what? Like at this point, I guess for the medical bills, it doesn't, you sprained your hand.
Dude,
like,
you're good. Pain and suffering, loss of use, trauma.
You want to get the legal system involved with a sprained hand?
This is what people do, right? It's a legit question. That's all I'm saying.
It is what people do.
I would never do it, but
right, and neither should who is our person?
Ava from North Carolina, Rocky Mount.
Yeah, because this sounds like one of those situations where it's like, well, of course, like I get in an accident, I have to sue and get money. It's like, you don't, like, if, like, normally you need the legal system to right a wrong, but if she has insurance and her insurance is covering it, unless she wants the lady's insurance company to pay her extra money for her pain and suffering, which I guess she could do, but then it would cost her money to get the, it's like.
It would. That's one thing, right? But they normally have like a settlement division like that normally requires like, hey, I'm thinking about bringing this to court, and there's a team, you know what I mean, come in and say, okay, 100K, make this go away, and they say, great, sign here, you know what I mean? It's like,
right. But if like
but
if I had already like made friends with this woman and literally hung out with her in the hospital and other stuff, to be like, hey, I hate to do this, but I'm gonna sue you because I like money, and I don't really need money because of this. I mean, but my hand hurts, and hurt equals money units. So I think I deserve 50,000 money units for my hurt in my hand because this is the U.S.
and
that's
how
it fucking works.
50,000 unit hurt.
Yeah. No. I'm not saying that you can't or whatever. I'm just saying the question is why. And so definitely don't feel bad about not suing her. Like,
right.
You don't have to sue everyone.
Yeah.
that
no, you
have
don't.
any sort of a...
but I would say, and maybe this is a mild case, and again, I would never do this either, but there have been situations where I maybe should have and didn't, you know what I mean? Because like, here's the thing, right? So say the accident was worse, and say it's broke her leg right in half, right? And and say, oh, now it got gangrenous and needs to be amputated below the knee, right? So now she's a below knee amputee.
Right.
Now her life is irrevocably changed, right? Any hobby she wanted to do, like to climb mountains, nope, not anymore, right? Hiking, nope. You know what I mean?
Right.
That loss of like life experience has literally been taken away from you, right? So are you entitled, like...
Oh, not sprained hand.
Because of the nature of the injury, but I'm saying there was a point when you at least consider what you've lost due to someone else's actions, you know what I mean? And being compensated thereof, you know?
Right, which makes sense. It just seems at this point, Ava has already gone through it, has been treated at the hospital, understands the injuries that she has. Most likely, I don't think her wrist is going to become gangrenous and get amputated.
Again, I think Ava's fine here.
maybe not get the legal system involved
Yeah,
if you don't
I
have
think
to.
so. Hey, but
Because
that's
I don't know if anyone who's had a great time with the U.S. legal system, like, please let me know because it's
yeah.
just I don't.
Yeah, Ava, us here at OK Seriously, we recommend, because say even if you did sue, right? Say you got $50,000, $100,000, like
She would not.
how would you feel? You know what I mean? Like, would you feel better on that, or would that kind of weigh on you? From like weighing on your soul perspective. You know what I mean?
Well, and I guess for some
Doing the
people
right
it
thing,
wouldn't, and for others it would.
right? I get the
But
feeling for Ava it would, right? So that's why I'm kind of
yes,
saying that, maybe you don't need to go. Right? You're okay. It could have been much worse than it wasn't, or people could have been hurt they weren't. You know, hopefully this person learned a lesson.
it sounds like they made a mistake and they were super nice about it and did everything that they could. So you were under no obligation to sue this woman
Right.
if you would like to because of
Welcome
pain
to
and
America.
suffering or whatever. But if the question is, well, I need to sue her because
Right.
that is not valid, because that unfortunately that is how it works here,
Yes.
and hopefully that will stop one day.
Yeah.
But
So Ava, you say you're naturally an overly compassionate person. Yes, roll with that. That is the thing
yeah,
to do.
yeah, go with
right?
that.
That's putting karma in the bank, right? That you can.
That is one of those things that's like a what's the opposite of a character flaw?
A virtue.
Okay, I'm not familiar with any of them, but so she has that, so that's awesome.
Yes.
Like,
So that's our advice, Ava. Good luck. Hope you feel better. Glad it wasn't worse, and glad you're okay. And then hopefully you made a friend. That's nice.
Yeah.
All right, next one. Grant from Ann Arbor, Michigan says, I'm a 22-year-old male. I feel I have zero sense of who I am. I just finished my undergrad. Despite my dreams of taking some time to travel and learn about myself, I immediately took a job after I got my internship. I think I enjoy the work, but I'm already completely burned out. I had the idea to take a week and go on a coastal hiking trail, bringing myself, camping, hiking supplies, and a journal. That being said, I keep catching myself thinking that's cheesy or something that put me behind with work. Is it worth going, or is soul searching silly? Grant,
you are 22. You are 4 years away from being a child. You have absolutely no fucking idea who you are at this point.
Your feelings are normal.
Like, you've taken a job and you already feel burnt out. Like, I think it is absolutely fine to take your belongings, put them in a kerchief, tie them to the back of a stick, and ride a boxcar, across the Midwest for a week. You know what I mean? Like, because
go town to town, help people with your kung fu.
Exactly. You could be like Jack Reacher, just settling problems. But even if you do not have the skills of a Jack Reacher, definitely taking some time for yourself to go, especially when you're talking about like a week. Yeah, absolutely, go for it.
It's never the wrong answer to go take the time for yourself, right?
Right.
Within reason.
Especially
I mean,
if you have it. It's not like you have to quit your job.
Right. If you do it to the point where, like, you no longer have a home and can't feed yourself, okay, maybe we have a problem, right?
Right.
But we seem very far from that point here, so take that time, dude.
At 22, like, yeah, it probably does seem burned out if you went right from an internship into working, probably thinking, oh crap, is this just like the rest of life?
Right.
So it's like, yep, hold on.
Hey,
it doesn't
it
have
is,
to be.
but
it is, but not necessarily. Here's this other thing that can happen sometimes.
Right.
Let's do it once now and see if we like it.
Exactly.
And then come back and work 80-hour weeks for the next 40 years.
Until the soul is sucked out of you.
That's how it's done.
America.
Well, I'm sorry, Grant, don't you have gumption? What do you does he have like subpar bootstraps? I mean, come on.
It's one of those socialists, maybe.
Oh yeah, could be. Or a liberal.
Oh god. So yeah, Grant, do that. Take your time. Find yourself.
Absolutely.
Find what you love. If you don't do it 5 years from now, you're gonna be doing the same exact thing. You're gonna look back and you're gonna be like, fuck, and you're gonna be more miserable.
Right.
Take the time.
And then, so if you haven't done it, then do it then. But definitely do it at some point.
Definitely do it.
Especially, and sooner rather than later, if you're already feeling burnt out from your job, because you're likely not going to feel less burnt out.
Correct.
As it's going, unless.
Correct. And you get paid time off. Take it.
Right. Right. If you're given PTO, use the PTO, even if it's very difficult.
Yes.
Always use it.
Yes. Do it. Find yourself. Find your direction. Nice. I like these easy ones.
But yeah. This was an easy one. Yeah.
Thank
this
you,
is
Grant.
this is
Rock
an easy
on,
one.
Man.
Thank you,
All right,
Grant.
question 4. Let's see. So me, 20-year-old female. Oh, this is from Kaya, Kya, from San Diego, California.
Okay.
Me, 20-year-old female, befriended this girl, 22-year-old female, and we were cool and all. Okay, I know this. But we got into a fight and we made up, but then she comes over to my house on Saturday and oh, I'm sorry. I'm not doing this right. I got to read this again. So, me, 22-year-old female, befriended this girl, February female 22, and we were like all cool and all, but we got into a fight and then we made up. But then she comes over to my house on Saturday and she's begging and begging me to drink. And then when she goes to buy the liquor, I'm like, hey, I don't really want to drink. And she's like, okay, that's fine. And then she left super early and she hasn't talked to me in days. And then she posts on her private story, she's throwing shade at me and says I'm just confused what I did. I want to give her a chance to explain herself, but it's like, WTF?
Hey, Kaya. I am so sorry. I kind of lost track of your verbal diarrhea hydrant right after you started with "so me." But I think I have gleaned enough of your word salad, I think, to determine that there is some completely unimportant nonsense that is going on involving a social media platform. So this is super easy. Get the fuck off of Insta and get yourself an MLA handbook so you can figure out the joys of punctuation and how to structure a sentence and to not make yourself sound like a complete idiot.
Like,
So
cool.
I mean, Vanguard, he did his best to translate that into
I
Zoomer
did.
shorthand
I
or
tried to
whatever the
speak
hell
to
that
Zoom. I
was.
tried to speak Zoomer.
You know, it felt awkward to me. It looked terribly awkward watching you do it. I hate that you had to do that. I'm sorry for everything that you went through.
I'll do this for
That's
the
on.
show. I do this for the show.
That's
I
now
know.
on video for the that is now
It literally
recorded
is.
for. It's like that's you got to live with that. So
I do.
thanks,
I do.
Kaya.
Yeah, Kaya, you my like you have a condition called you have a bad case of the 20s. What you have. It's kind of your issue.
Right. Well, you also have a bad case of the social medias in
Right.
terms of like.
Put down the phone.
Also, never begin a sentence with "so me."
Oh, me? Right.
Like "so me" going to the store.
Or
and
shade.
I
Like,
right. Yeah. I mean, well, throwing shade I get as a I am
I'm
not
being
such an
dissed?
old uh I'm not such old father time. Not with I can understand, that language changes over time and then we have new
It
slang.
evolves.
So
It evolves.
perhaps
Look, I'll stick with the
word
Oxford
salad
English
is more
Dictionary.
for
Though.
my
I mean, it's like
right or well yeah.
slang works its way in there over time, and Merriam-Webster.
There's
they
the
adopt
Chicago Institute of Style. There's the MLA
Yes.
handbook. There are so many
Yes.
different ones,
Many
but
options.
they all include commas.
and basic
which
literacy.
you
Yes.
don't. So that's one thing you can learn. You can start on the chapter called comma.
Commas. Yeah. When
Yeah.
to use them.
Right.
Anyway,
It's like
we are. Oh, let me see if I use this right. We are throwing a lot of shade at Kaya. How'd I do?
I believe you. Yes, we
Did I
are.
use
We
it
are
properly?
throwing a little shade at Kaya. Yeah.
And we are sorry for that, but I guess, and we're kind of
Yeah,
belittling
we're
like
sorry
your
for that, yeah.
we're kind of belittling what you think is an issue and we think is like a non-issue is kind of what we're getting at here. So
Yeah, that's because it isn't an issue though. That's why. And so we're
but
communicate to you.
it is to
this is
Kaya.
dumb.
That's the thing.
Right. And her feelings are very valid.
Yes.
Silly.
Yeah.
I don't.
So Kaya,
What's a private story? Do I
I
like?
think that's you post it on her
It's like an
private story.
Instagram
I think it's
that
like
only goes to a certain friend group.
is it
like a
Insta- is
text
story?
chain or
Is it stories Instagram? I thought Instagram was feeds or something. Is it stories?
Threads?
Threads is
That's-
something else.
I don't know.
So private
I
means you
don't-
only
I
can
don't know
look
the
at.
social medias.
You have to
but
be followed, I think, in order to see a private,
it-
right?
Yeah, so it sounds like Kaya had an experience with this girl that she befriended.
Yes.
Then the befriended girl posted something not necessarily complimentary about
Questionable.
Kaya on a social media site of which Kaya was not privy until someone else told Kaya
Oh.
and showed her, and now Kaya is a little disgruntled
Right.
with
That is the accurate summary. Yes,
befriended girl.
correct. Correct. So Super J just
Yes.
just Super
We got
J's
nailed it.
Super J is educating us in Zoomer. This private story is Snapchat.
Snapchat.
Yes, which I am familiar with. I thought Snapchat was just dick pics. Actually, is it not that anymore? Like I thought
I
it
thought
was
they
just like
disappeared in like a day or something.
Right.
Like it's supposed to be like that was the whole thing.
right.
Is that they
I read a really funny comic. It was like this is years ago. It was like, hey, let's create the social media site where you post pictures, but they delete in an hour. And that's like, oh, that's a great novelty draw. He's like, and then what's the what's the end game? He's like, the end game is like 4 years later we tell everyone we didn't delete the pictures.
Right. Right, exactly.
Like, here they are.
Servers at Snapchat have to be at least
JK.
63% dead.
Yes.
Like,
right.
so I mean, they must have the AI just looking through
Oh my
cock,
God.
cock, 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 cock. Okay, here we go. Oh,
Here's
here's
the
the story.
non-cock, right?
Oh, look at this. It's a flower or whatever. I don't know.
Shaped like a cock.
Someone made some bread. Oh, yeah. Oh, it's shaped like a penis. Yeah.
All right, Kaya. So, but really though, all right, we're serious about this. So, don't worry about what you did. She clearly has a problem with you. She'll come and reach out to you if she decides she wants to be your friend or not, right? Don't sit there and make yourself crazy guessing like that you want some kind of justification or like explanation for her actions, because you might not get it. So,
And I in no way can even pretend to have any idea what's happening. So you can literally do whatever the fuck you want, because I'm not even sure what is happening. Although I am fairly sure now, at least by the going dialogue, that I did not have a stroke while Vanguard was reading so I'm glad. I feel better now. I'm pretty
Excellent.
sure I did not stroke out
Excellent.
during So Me.
Yeah, you look great. I might,
Thanks.
Kaya, do a quick, I am to her and just say kind of like, hey, hope your week's going well. Chat soon. And that's putting it on her, right? And that's she either reaches out to you or she doesn't. So
That sounds so basic.
her call. That's another one of the Zoomer words, right? Basic.
I think so.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, you're doing good with the vernacular. It's fantastic.
Yeah. And one thing I have found is that I like being basic, I think, because a lot of things that I like are called basic.
Yeah.
And so I'm like, you know what? That's fine.
Yeah.
Like, Moses Lawn, that's so fucking basic.
Correct.
Yeah.
Yeah. So it's putting food in your mouth, right?
Yeah,
And
that is
peeing
basic,
and
man.
peeing in a toilet, also basic, but
Yeah.
necessary.
Freaking roof over your head,
Oh, no, it's not, yeah.
clothing,
Right.
shelter, food, water.
Seriously.
What
Like really, right? It's like
do you want? Safety
safety,
from the
right?
elements.
Like, oh my god, I need clothing.
We're gonna go through all of Maslow's hierarchy of needs here. Like,
So
fuck.
basic. You're just so basic, right? It's like, oh my god, Zoomer chat, man. It's like, can't even. But Kaya, that's my advice: is that send her a quick IM or DM, whatever terminology your platform of choice uses, and just say, hey,
Snapchatties.
yeah, hope everything's going. Hope
Snapchat.
hope everything's cool. Hope you're having a good week. Reach out if you want to hang, and then leave it at that. And then it's on.
I think
it's on
already
her.
she was like, "Who wrote this? This is not come from this came from a
Oh,
50-something man."
Remove the commas
this came
and
from a white guy.
remove the commas and
Right.
do some verbal diarrhea in there to make it sound like it's coming
And
from you.
and change the preposition, like change the pronouns to
But-
whatever. Or
right,
the
and put the preposition at
like-
the other end. Yeah, and
Yeah.
it'll be mwah, perfect.
Yeah, absolutely. Lots
There
of
should be I just came up with a business idea. There should be a chat bot that you type in the like normal human speak and it spits out Zoomer.
That's like
How you write that sentence.
That was like the very early on, like it was like, what do they call it? It was like the gangster translator or whatever.
Yes,
It
exactly.
was
Or the pimp
was-
translator or something. It's like
pimp. Yeah, pimp. Exactly.
Yo,
It translated
yeah.
everything into pimp.
right, and everything was kind of like, "Yo, bitch!" It was every
Yeah,
It's the
exactly.
end of every sentence.
But I think, that it would take so much time and effort to keep the libraries updated with all
That's
of
true.
the latest words and definitions and stuff to like
That's true.
actually. But
Yeah, but that's a
Yeah,
job for
or-
AI.
or
Have
could
the AI do it, right? It's out there.
yeah, or you could give AI a direct feed into Urban Dictionary, and then you just pick the Urban Dictionary that has the highest number of votes.
Exactly.
Because that's the thing. Sometimes you'll get like 8 definitions, but it's like,
Yeah,
oh, this
some
one
of
has
them, half of
1,000
them are
and this one has
bogus.
3.
Exactly.
Yeah. So
Fantastic. All right, Kai.
that's
Yeah.
partner with Urban Dictionary.
Yeah.
Perfect.
Anyway, back to you, Kaya. Good luck. Hopefully this works out. If she doesn't want to be a friend, she doesn't want to be your friend, and you can't force that, right? So,
Right.
best of luck to you in life. Okay, our last question comes from Charlotte from Wallace, Idaho. Charlotte says,
fuck.
"Hi, I'm a 20-year-old female living at home. My family is super conservative. I again point out Wallace, Idaho, and doesn't believe in modern medicine.
Jesus Christ.
No, not at all, actually. Recently, my family decided to tear apart my room because they suspected I was on the mood stabilizer. Luckily, they didn't find anything, but I am secretly on a mood stabilizer and an anti-anxiety medication. What's the best way to hide the two of them? I know my parents are going to tell me to move out of the house if they find out. I don't want to move out, I don't want to lose the stability my medications provide. Ask Charlotte from, again, Wallace, Idaho.
Damn. Oh man. Okay. Yeah, Charlotte, you could have stopped it super conservative, but by the time you got to the additional rejection of modern medicine predicate,
Yes.
like I think the message was clear. Run, Charlotte, run. Run.
Run, far run.
Like after everything, with a salutation from Idaho,
Mm-hmm.
yeah, it's pretty crystal clear. You got to get the fuck out of Idaho. So if you're 20 and living, so
He's only
I
20
completely
though.
understand.
I mean, living on your own.
I get it. No, I get that she is not in a position where she can walk out the door at this point. But she, but the fact that she is taking her medication and she's doing it, and because she understands that modern medicine is real, that is great. That's a win for Oklahoma, Charlotte. Even if you leave, I mean, that'll be one person out of Oklahoma that understands what modern medicine is, and that's great.
Idaho.
What did I say? Oklahoma? Yeah, I think it holds up both ways.
Okay.
But yeah, I would say try to get yourself into a situation where you are able to extricate yourself from the household, so that this is not a concern. Because it's really, really sad that this is a concern, but you actually are doing the right thing by hiding it, because medicine is real.
Right.
And Idaho isn't. I don't know. I've never been to Idaho, but I've taken medicine, so who's to say? You know what I mean?
It's what you think it is.
Oh, God, yeah. I was kind of hoped it was just maybe.
You have a car.
Empty space on the map.
If you have a car, hide it in your car. One suggestion. Another suggestion is buy sex toys and put them in your drawer, an easy to find drawer. Let your mother find the sex toys. She will never look in said drawer again. Then put your medications in that drawer.
That's a long walk for, but I don't know if the super conservative, because that could get her kicked out of the house too.
Having a sex toy?
Like,
maybe.
Super conservatives from Idaho who don't believe in modern medicine, I think if all of a
They're
sudden
gonna be okay
there's a
with
12-inch black cock, like
just
literally slides open the drawer, and yeah, it's got 4D batteries, and it's just like, it looks like one of those things outside of like a car dealership that's just flapping in the wind or whatever. I mean, and you know, exactly. Yeah, you got to be careful. You got to work yourself up to those. Start out slow. You know, you have to be conditioned to handle that, I would think, especially in the butt.
Especially in the butt.
So maybe not the sex toys, but
okay, fine.
If you have a car, is a great place.
Very easy to hide stuff in cars.
Very easy. Except when, well, it depends on how many police dogs there are. Because you can hide stuff, but depending on the number of dogs, it can get harder and harder for them not to find it.
If it's legitimately the police, you keep the copy of the prescription document with the medication and say, I have a prescription for this medication.
Oh, of course. I'm just talking in general.
Oh, I see.
About cars and hiding things.
Oh, I see.
Things. Dogs find things.
They do.
Sometimes.
They're very good at it, actually.
And sometimes the people who have the dogs get all mad about it.
Right. And then all of a sudden your hands are against the hood of the car, and then
right, exactly. And I am being detained.
Right.
Like I just
yeah, Charlotte, it does seem like you're in a situation, right, where if your family's not freaked out about it, you have to hide it. You know, maybe you keep it. I don't know. You got to take it daily, right? So you don't want it out of the house. Right. You want it somewhere. So.
One thing that you could do is take the prescription bottle, get a thing of Tic Tacs, pop open the Tic Tacs, pour the pills in there.
There you go.
You can find candy that will look close enough. Put it in Altoids. Like there, you know,
very good.
And
ideas.
Maybe
very
one of your parents will accidentally have an Altoid and maybe chill the fuck out a little bit.
You know, keep your meds.
Unfortunately, it doesn't really work that way. But it'd be awesome if you could just, you know,
fantastic.
Put a little Buspar in Mom's tea, and she stops being a complete fucking moron.
Right.
Yeah, that'd be great.
Yeah, but I would also,
for you.
Yeah, I would also though start to. You didn't say you. We don't know if you're the youngest, the oldest, or whatever. But if you're the oldest and you're the first child to reach this age, right? Perhaps your parents need to be educated about what having a young adult living in their home, legal adult, means, right?
She comes from a super conservative family in
I
Idaho.
understand.
There is no way there aren't
I-
at least 10 kids.
But is she number
10
one
is
or number
the
10?
10 is the floor. It doesn't matter.
I,
They come out in 2s and 3s and 5s. It's like, you know,
I'm just saying you need to start having the conversation with your parents, right? Like, I'm an adult and I require some privacy, right? So please don't come in my room. I will clean it, right?
And then her mother would ask why the devil is in her room and why she is trying to
And then she'll
hide her
be
satanic.
and then they will need to baptize her down by the river.
Right. Because that's what this
Ritualistic dunking.
When you have the rejection of modern medicine and super conservative, it's like
there's not much more
that's
room
where it's
for
like,
reason. Yeah.
okay, it's like, yeah, they're just not, they don't live in reality. So you have to just do what you have to do to extricate yourself from that.
Right. So you have to survive in that reality
eventually.
long enough to remove yourself from it.
Like the woman who wrote that book, Educated,
Yes.
who I think she lived in a rural place in Idaho where she didn't have any connections and now has like Harvard degree and a Yale degree
Yeah.
or whatever and wrote a whole book about it. But
Yeah.
so maybe you could be her.
Yeah, Charlotte, why don't you go to college? That would have got you out of the situation.
Well, okay, let's not. First of all, she's in Wallace, Idaho. I have no idea what sort of secondary educational facilities things are nearby. Like I'm not super familiar with my Idaho geography, other than that the whole thing fucking sucks.
Charlotte's a lot more literate and articulate than Kaya was from San Diego.
Right. No. I'm not saying that Charlotte couldn't be in college or shouldn't be in college. Just that perhaps where she is in this situation, it was not something that was
Not
an
an option.
easy option.
I see.
Perhaps Charlotte was even homeschooled. Oh no. Like, so if you don't have because part of going to college is being in high school where you're presented with resources and stuff to learn, or your parents are pushing you that direction. Her parents could be terrified that she becomes a doctor and actually, saves lives. So maybe
engages in medicine and actually saves human beings. Yeah, instead of tries to pray it away. Yeah.
Doesn't understand that everything needs to be left in God's hands.
I just say, Charlotte, consider higher education. It'll get you out of the house. It'll broaden your worldview, and it'll keep your meds. So
yes, and you will get the first thing you will learn is that you should keep your meds.
Right.
If you could get out of Idaho and walk into any medical facility and say, I have these meds, should I keep taking them? They will universally say yes. That is how assured I am that if an allopathic doctor of some kind understands your situation, they will agree, take your meds.
Yes.
And the ability, losing that stability that your meds provide is a very scary thought, which is why it's like, absolutely take them, hide them in, as I said, with pills.
I like your idea, like Tic Tac or Altoid boxes. That's a score right there. That's the way to go.
Yeah, because it's just stuff that people don't, and that is really easy to hide in your car. You could just put them in the Altoids box and then put them in the fucking spare tire. Or whatever.
Exactly.
Yeah, and like no one is ever gonna give a shit. Yep. So, that is our advice. If you would need to smuggle something drug related that is not so easily hideable, you can DM us, and one of us will get back to you with additional ideas.
I don't know how to.
I'm just saying.
This isn't getting back to like the swallowing the balloon thing, is it? That's all right. Wink, wink.
That was me winking.
Understood. Okay, got it. All
right. We got it. Charlotte, you and I, we got it.
Yeah. Charlotte, good luck. We hope you get out of Idaho. Like I said, I
we really
hope you
do.
Go to college, and I hope you get some higher education. Fantastic.
Just,
dude.
Yeah.
Speed round time, and it's your turn.
Oh, is it?
I was thrown in the bus last week, so it's you.
Oh, okay. Okay.
So,
I have no problems being
you gotta do your time.
Placed under the tire bus.
Do it.
Bus tire.
Commit a crime. Do your time. Oh, that work? Did that work? Timer. There it is. I put 1 minute on the timer. So for those of you who are not familiar, speed round. I'm gonna fire Green Pants 5 rapid fire questions. He's got to answer them within 60 seconds. And don't forget, 60 seconds. And
you do tend to pontificate.
You do. You can pontificate after the 60 seconds is up, and then we'll look back and we will pontificate. So the timer will start after I read the first question. Green Pants, are you ready? Which fruit do you think would be most disappointed by the name we gave it?
Kumquat.
Agreed. What's a better name for candy corn?
Inbound trash. Chicken feed. I believe it was originally called chicken feed, actually.
Got it. What's objectively the worst musical instrument?
Saxophone, jazz clarinet, bagpipes. I'll go with jazz clarinet.
Okay, fuck you.
Whatever Kenny G has.
Upon whomst have you taken your sweetest of revenge plots?
Ooh, that would be an evil German photography company owner, of which I can pontificate later.
Yes,
but
yes.
yeah.
Do you believe everything happens for a reason?
Yes, because cause and effect are real things. But if you're
Correct.
meaning if everything happens for some sort of cosmically defined reason, no, that's fucking insane.
Yes.
It just shit just happens because
Yes.
the world is a large, unforgiving place.
All right, you got down. You had 11 seconds left. I think that's a record
Nice.
for you, so I'm pretty excited about that. All right, let's unpack some of this. So, I have to jump to the F you and your musical instrument because I have a saxophone right there
Oh, I know.
that I play.
Yeah. It's super annoying.
Well, it's clarinet. And by the way, Kenny G plays a soprano saxophone. I just want to make that very clear.
Oh.
And
so
I'm not a
that's
fan
what
of his
makes it
music,
extra
by
bad?
the way. What's that?
Do you like the soprano saxophone?
It's not my favorite. Not my. It's got a very mellow quality to it, but it's not my favorite. Of the
How
tenor
about
saxophone.
bagpipes?
I think bagpipes are awesome. I would love to play bagpipes actually.
It's very difficult to play, but I'm just in
Very
terms
difficult to
of but saxophone's one of those things where it's really easy also to play badly.
Yes.
That can be
Yes.
that
The clarinet,
so-
the clarinet is the worst offender of that because it's very easy to squeak a clarinet if you don't know how to play it well. It
Right.
comes out this horrible squeaky noise.
and that's kind of how I was thinking of like with the rewords, like
I see. On the
you know,
woodwinds. Yeah. My
Yes.
most hated instrument is the trombone.
oh yeah, you do
I-
have the history with the trombone too.
Cannot stand sound of the trombone. It makes me crazy. It's like somebody decided to break and deform a trumpet, and it sounds like.
So
it.
you're
That's
not-
what they do.
So what is your feeling on sad trombone? Wah, wah.
For comedy
We
purposes,
wouldn't have that without the trombone.
You could do the same with a muted trumpet. There's a mute and go. Wah, wah.
Then you'd have to have like the mute.
You
Yeah,
have the mute.
yeah.
Trumpet comes with a
The-
mute.
the
Most
tr-
when you buy it, it comes
the
with a mute.
trombone. Okay,
Hate the
how
trombone.
many? What would we
Most.
have 76 of to lead the big parade?
There you go.
If not trombones,
Trombones are more for
There's a
aesthetics than they are the sound. I'll say
because they had
that.
110 cornets close at hand,
Yeah,
I believe.
yeah.
Then rows and rows of yeah, something like that.
Something goes like
Um,
that. Yeah, no, the trombone's the
but-
most muddiest, non-clear tone sounding instrument. Horrible. I hate it. Can't stand it. Every time I'm watching this, which I know you'll mock me for this now, but remember that time I missed our session because I had to go watch a swing band? I went to watch the swing band. Typically in a swing band, different instruments will take a solo. Every time this trombone took a solo, I just got disgusted. I had to walk away. Horrible.
wow.
Worst thing
I
is
don't think
giving the trombone a solo. Don't give him a fucking
right,
solo. It's not a melody
that
instrument.
blows my mind because
Yeah.
I have been to many jazz concerts under duress.
Remember
And
this day.
there was many instrument. I don't think I've ever actually seen. I mean, I've seen slap bass solos and
Which are great.
yeah, even
Drum solos.
yeah, or
Great.
saxophone solos, anything that.
Saxophone
But trombone, like
No,
I just
Pretty
I don't,
much.
How do you?
How
do you go off?
It's like exactly. You don't.
Because you
Go
don't.
off.
Yeah, because you've got buttons. You've got the 3-button. Do you have any on the trombone?
No.
What do you got?
No.
Is it just the slide? That's all you
Yes.
have?
Yes.
Yeah, that's
And
yeah,
you
that's dumb.
and the pressure of your armature. As you could change the octaves
Oh.
by how tight you make your lips. Oh,
Okay, but just like so, any on any
Octaves.
brass instrument kind of thing, you have to
exactly. Anyway,
Yeah,
we're diverging on
that one.
trombone.
totally.
So, all right, so that's fine. So your name is considered. Oh, totally agree. Question one: the kumquats. That's the most horrible name we've ever named anything. I think.
yeah, I
No.
don't understand why we. And there was actually a road near where I lived called Kumquat Lane.
Oh, it's horrible. It makes
It's
me
like,
not
why
want
does
to eat the
anyone live on that?
kumquat. It makes me not want to eat the kumquat because of its name, even though it could be quite tasty.
I like kumquats actually. I've eaten kumquats. They just generally it's weird that it has a name that like the first part is sex liquid,
Right.
and then the
Why?
other part sort of sounds like an exercise of some kind.
Right.
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 And it's just together. I don't. Like, yeah, it just
It's
money
like
shot
it's
plus
the
an extra. I don't know.
to me it's the word that sounds like if you were to enter a deep squatting position and you were to lose control of your bowels. That sounds like that
Right.
would be what you would call a kumquat.
And you had a terrible kumquat,
Right.
and you had a stage 3 kumquat and
Yes.
needed medical attention.
Not quite
For-
distended, but it's
You grabbed the EpiPen. His kumquat's coming right out.
unless you're in Wallace, Idaho, then you don't believe in the EpiPen.
Well, if they don't have it, for them, they just
Die.
probably think they just think the kumquat's magic or some shit. I don't know.
Yeah. So then what else do we say? Candy corn. I used to be addicted to candy corn. I can't eat it anymore. It's just it's food colored sugar. What it is. Like
It's I absolutely hate it, but my kids like it. So
I
I understand that human beings like it. I
Yeah.
do not understand, but it is one of the oldest
sweet for
candies. It's yeah, I guess I'm more of like a chocolatey type of thing. It's just I don't want to eat like just sponge. Like, I don't like cotton
concentrated
candy
sugar,
either.
right?
It's like
Solid
sponge
sugar.
sugar. It's
Right.
not.
Right.
But candy corn was actually called chicken feed because it was designed to look like chicken feed. That's why it's white. And it was like in the after Civil War, but like Reconstruction area was basically, it was a farmer's candy.
They
where
invented the candy corn?
Candy corn, I believe. Yeah, look it up, the candy corn.
am.
But I'll say
going.
1880.
Yeah.
Definitely 1800s.
Yeah. First company to sell the candy was the Wonderl Candy Company in Philadelphia. First one to sell it in 1888.
Boom.
Originally called
1880,
chicken
okay.
feed because it was
I'm
kernel
8 years
shaped,
off of
resemble corn kernels. It was intended to appeal to farmers and can be enjoyed year round rather than be advertised as Halloween candy. Oh, there you go. Made from sugar or corn syrup. Just in case the corn syrup sweetener wasn't enough, actual
Sugar too.
corn syrup,
Real sugar.
confectioner's
fake
wax,
sugar.
artificial coloring, and binders to hold it together.
Yeah, so literally two sugars held
God.
together.
Your
That-
God.
Goes into your stomach, and it just dissolves your teeth as it goes down, and then it goes down into your stomach,
It erodes your
where
whole digestive.
it causes you to go into a diabetic coma.
It gives you candida,
So-
and it wants you to eat more candy corn. Right?
And so that's two fun things you can have.
Oh my God.
Yeah, candy corn for me would just be like, I got that at Halloween. That just was like literally just slid right into the trash. It was like, this is not for me.
Yeah. No, I
Mike and
get you.
Ike's feel very similar.
Mike and Ike's. Funny.
Um,
And then the your revenge plots. I know about the German photographer.
yes. Swedish revenge plots. Okay, let me throw out a hypothetical.
It's an actual.
It's a hypothetical. Okay.
Right.
So, when someone has a business where they mail things, they require a postal machine. A postal machine is something that you go to the post office, you give them a check, they put, let's say, $10,000 in postage on the postage machine, and then you take that machine, bring it back to the office, and it goes on the printer. That when you are printing things, it applies the postage by itself, and that way you don't have to put stamps or anything. So, if you're the sole business owner, you're going to have to go buy that postage. So if you have employees to which you are fond of harassing sexually, or harassing their girlfriends or boyfriends or whoever, you might find yourself getting monetarily penalized. How, might you ask? Well, let me go back to the postage machine. See, the postage machine, it has a maximum of, at the time, of $9.99, $9.99. So you can only post $10 at once. But you know what? Hitting $9.99, you can generate $600-700 in postage in less than a minute. And then after you've grabbed that postage and you've curled it into a ball and you've gone out and your friends have kicked it around and then you've lit it on fire and kicked it into the woods, you can feel a little bit better that whatever he said cost him $700.
Completely hypothetical, of course.
Right. How would
We admit to no wrongdoing.
I mean, I have absolutely no idea who. I would applaud anyone that would do such a thing, because, and only in circumstances where the person who was responsible for the postage was truly an evil bastard. Like, absolutely no compunction. Literally started his business with stolen drugs. So, yes.
Oh my
So,
god.
so if you have a boss who starts his business with stolen drugs and has a Posters machine and starts to sexually harass all of the women in the office, plus just all the guys and everyone in general, and you use that Posters machine as a punishment for giving monetary penalties, fucking 2 thumbs up, man. Because I don't know how you came up with that. But that was
Great.
brilliant. You were only 18? Wow, that's awesome.
That's great.
Who would have
dude.
thought of that?
Great.
But
Very
yeah,
good.
hypothetical.
Completely hypothetical. Fantastic. Thank you.
And, and everything happens for a reason.
Yeah.
That one always gets me because it's like, yes, but not in the way I think you mean.
Exactly. It's got a religious connotation to it.
Or even sort of like I get that all the time at my office where it's like, oh, this, something failed. Well, everything happens for a reason.
Yes.
Yeah, because we fucked up. Like,
shitty code. Right. Yeah. It's like somebody wrote shitty code.
There was no no cosmic hand came down and just messed with the digits a little bit.
Right. And and someone didn't write a test for it. That's what happened.
Right.
It's like, yeah.
It's
for sure.
Oh well. Gee, why did why did I get run over by that car? Well,
right.
Probably not some cosmic thing. Probably had something to do with the driver not paying attention, not seeing you, and crashing into you.
Right.
What you did earlier that day, or what you plan to do later in the day, sorry to tell you, does not matter. You were gonna get hit by that car one way or the other. Not that. But in terms of there is nothing that you did specifically that then translated itself.
There's no karma bank into action. Right. If you delayed yourself because you did something, then maybe you would have missed the car. There's of course this butterfly causal effect kind of thing. But
the whole sliding doors situation and all that. But
yes, of course. But it's everything. So yes, things happen for a reason, and it's clearly documented in the laws of science, many of which we know how things happen for quite a few things. Not everything.
But again, I think where this term is most oftenly used is the
divine
explaining
fate.
Away something bad
by
saying there had to be a good reason for it.
Right.
And that's not true.
You know what bugs me about
there
this
did not
argument?
Have to be a good reason.
You know what bugs me about this argument? And it's funny because it's an irony of it. So there's the St. Jude's Cancer Hospital. I think a lot of you might, right? It's children. And for children with cancer, right? And it's a horrible condition, right? Bone suffering like that. So you watch the commercials, and they go through some of these kids' stories, and they show what happens, and your donations actually provide treatment for these kids and better quality of life. But then, like, one commercial I saw kind of had the suggestion of like St. Jude's, right? So it's a bit of a pious overtone.
Oh yeah,
right?
it's
like,
a Catholic charity.
Right. Exactly.
It is part of the Catholic Charity Network. Yeah.
The irony of a Catholic charity advocating for children with cancer in the way that if there was an intelligent God that makes decisions on our fate and decides for children to get cancer,
gotta be a really good reason.
How does that reconcile with anything?
Gotta be some good reason. That's
but
what
who?
I always
said. Like you say, oh, you're learning a lesson, right? It's like, okay, fine. If I as an adult get hit by a bus because I was bad to whoever, my friend or something like that, okay, maybe I learned a lesson, right? What did a 6-year-old child do where they need to learn a lesson, right?
Oh, they know what they did.
They know what they did.
But it's
that bugs the shit out of me.
But for me, it's explaining away things that like, it was going to happen anyway. It's like, no, that just happened because we got messed up, like that.
You could think of it from the perspective of, you could take it scientific, right? To the extent of like, there is a probability of many things happening, right, at any particular point in time, and the dice rolled, and just so happens this thing happened at this point in time. You know what I mean? And I happened to be there for it.
But that still had a reason. Was all of those things leading up to it, and then the event happened.
Exactly.
From the universal sense that like you know, especially, you know, when it's like we were destined to walk into each other at that particular. It's like, no, we lucked out. That's cool.
Yeah.
You know.
Exactly.
But I know a lot of people don't feel that way. I definitely am in the minority on this. Like amongst human beings, I am like in the very minority.
It gives people purpose, right? Because it feels like there's like a hand guiding them. Like they don't have to acknowledge the reality that we are merely these blots of water and protoplasm, like floating on a ball of mud through an infinite void that has no.
Yeah, why do you need a purpose?
Or
I don't have a purpose,
right?
You know,
it's like
my purpose.
Gotta feel like
it's just this, really.
Yeah.
You know, this is all I got. So.
But you know what I mean. But that's the people need that for comfort, right? They comfort each other. The reality is, can be pretty lonely and depressing.
I would find it difficult to be able to find comfort because my brain would just be like, that doesn't make any sense.
I know.
So I can't find. It's sort of like when anyone says it's like, but that's not a thing.
Yeah.
You know, because I mean, hey, I wish we lived in the world of J.R. Tolkien and was like, oh yeah, well, if you put on the ring, it makes you invisible. Okay, you know, but you're eventually you have to give back to Mordor. Yeah, okay, in the rules of that universe, that's how it works.
I guess that's what I gotta do.
You know.
Yeah.
I think so. I think we got them all.
I think we did. I think we did well. I think we provided value here. I think Francine's on the path to have sex with her ex-coworker, which I think is fantastic.
I really hope so.
I want to hear about that, actually. That's really fantastic. You don't need to sue everybody. That's what else we learned, right? If you ever,
Kaya.
Right. If you ever feel like you need to find yourself, go find yourself, right? As long as you're not putting yourself in being stressed by doing it.
Go on that trip, and find yourself and realize that you are gay.
Maybe he is. Who knows?
Maybe, I don't know. I'm saying, yeah, right. Go find out.
Kaya needs to learn some punctuation and not take her friend's actions so seriously.
Going back to Kaya again.
Yes, back to Kaya. And Charlotte needs to get out of Wallace, Idaho.
Yeah.
That's it.
I think we pretty much solved everybody's problem.
I think so.
I mean, yes, there are some follow-up steps that they will have to initiate on their own, but
we merely show the path.
We literally built gave you the blueprint.
Built the bridge.
Everything. Yeah.
To the path.
All you have to do is walk across it.
Just go. Take that step.
Walk across our bridge. Walk across the OP Seriously
bridge. We won't even charge you. It is a toll-free bridge. Walk across.
We will charge you. It is not toll-free. But we will not charge you when you enter the bridge. We will charge you
when you exit the bridge. Like the George Washington, right? You pay getting in. Right. You're only the one way. You pay the $15 or whatever it is. But yeah.
Right.
Pass a fucking bridge. But
our bridge is way more than $15.
I was not aware we were charging for a bridge. So
listen, I will negotiate on bridge crossing costs.
I think that's great. That's something we can discuss.
DM me.
Yes.
Vanguard doesn't like to be part of like any of the behind the scenes, illegal activities and stuff. So yeah.
I meant plausible deniability is what I need.
Right.
All right, everybody. So we will be here next week at again, sorry we're a little late tonight, but 9:30 p.m. Eastern time we should be. So we will see you then. And until next time, please keep those questions coming. The link's down below.
Please.
And click submit the questions. We need your questions. They're our lifeblood. And until then, we'll see you then. So
we're here to help.
We're here to help. That's right. So take care, everybody.
Good night, everybody.
All right, we're off.
The slow hand.
Oh, it's great. What's that old Leslie Nielsen? Was it a Police Squad? Remember every time they ended the show, they would just all stop, stop moving. And there was like the criminal that was there looking around, like takes their gun, takes some donuts, and walks.
Yeah, because it was like the final action shot of like
right. And then
it's like, what are you guys all doing?
It's like, guys, what are we doing here? It was brilliant. Oh God.
I think that went okay.
I think it was great. Yeah, absolutely.
I think